Welcome to the Transformational Coach podcast with me, Rona Barton, giving you competence with confidence. Welcome back, everybody. In this week's episode, we're looking at how to stop worrying what others think of us. It's part of our Inner Strength series, and we tie that off next week with our No to Perfectionism section. Before we jump into this week's episode, however, let's take a couple of minutes just to check in and see how you're doing, how you're feeling. How are you coping with the current pandemic situation where you live? Have you managed to take time out this week to do something that gives you joy, that brings you pleasure? If not, how about making a plan to do that? Do something over the next few days that's just for you. Okay. This week, as I said, we're looking at how to stop worrying what others think of us. Now, if, like me, this has been an issue for you in your life, there are things that can be done about it. There's a lovely quote by the ancient Chinese philosopher and writer Lao Tzu that says, "If we care about what other people think, we'll always be their prisoner." And to me, that's quite a powerful saying that he's come up with there. If we spend too long thinking what other people think about us or worrying about what other people think about us, we really end up giving them control over our lives and over our state of being. And that's not a situation that I really want to be in. I don't know if it's one that you want to be in either. So let's take some time this week to think about why that might be and what we might be able to do about it. So let me ask you this. In what situations do you still worry about what others think? If you've got your notepad and pen to hand, as ever, write it out, make a list so that it's clear in your head and you're giving yourself a good chance to think about these things. And once you've thought about that, take some time to think about when you've not cared at all about what other people think, where you've really been 100% free of that worry. And also take some time to think, how does it feel in those situations, where you are free from worrying about what other people think? How does it feel when you trust and believe in yourself completely? So that's some of your homework for this week. What I do notice, or I should say I have noticed prior to the global pandemic, was that I used to spend time really considering if I was going out and about, perhaps what I would be wearing or whether my hair was done or makeup was on, because what if I bumped into somebody I knew? What would they think if they saw me without makeup, hair scraped back in a ponytail, looking like I hadn't made any effort? Because quite frankly, I hadn't. It's a day off and doing what I enjoy. And quite often we can spend time beating ourselves up, after running into people like that or going to meetings, and really then thinking through every little bit that you've done or said or didn't say, and then thought or worried about what your co-workers or your friends or family members or random strangers in the street might very well think about you. Or perhaps they were thinking, oh, you're not smart enough, or you're not talented enough, or you're not good enough, or whatever it is. And we get to the point, especially with the social media that we have these days, where before we even post a picture or a snapshot of something that we've gone to do or thought, wow, that looks amazing, we spend time filtering it and putting on, changes to the colours so that it looks as we think other people want it to look. We live inside other people's heads. That's what it seems like to me. And all that really leaves us with is judging ourselves much more harshly than is needed. It makes us feel potentially uncomfortable in our own bodies or apologetic for just being ourselves. And it makes us live according to other people's expectations and standards, instead of being authentic. So, who wants to give that up? I'll raise my hand at that. Me, I want to do my best to stop worrying about what other people think and just be me. The reality is, other people's opinions of us are really none of our business. Their opinions have got nothing to do with us, and they've got everything to do with them, their past, their expectations, the things they like, the things they don't like, the judgments, their values. It doesn't have anything to do with me as an individual. So if I was to stand up in front of a group of strangers and talk about any particular topic, some of them would love it, some of them would hate it, some of them would be distracted because they didn't think what I was wearing suited me, or they'd be distracted because they really loved the top I had on and wanted to know where I got it. Some of them would think I didn't know what I was talking about and I was making a fool of myself, whereas others would think, wow, she really knows her topic and I want to find out more. Some people might very well get up and walk out before I'd finished speaking, while others might keep me in their memory for years to come and talk about me and that particular topic to other people. Any way you look at it, we can never please all the people all of the time. So why are we trying? We should be trying to please ourselves and do what fits for us. How can we do that? Well, first of all, start by knowing yourself. And knowing yourself means knowing about your values. And this is a topic we've spoken about before. So go back through the podcasts, find the ones on values, re-listen to them, go back through your notepad, go back through your values and check in with them. Are they still working for you? What are your top core values that you want to live your life by? Your values are yours. They may not align with the values of your best friend or the values of your worst enemy, and that's fine. They're yours. Know your core values, know the ones you value the most, and you will shine brightly when you live by them. Something else to know is, know to stay, if you like, in your own business. So, the weather, for example, that is nature's business. That's not your business. The body and the genes that you have been born with, that's nature's business. If you can't control it, don't. The next type of business is other people's business. What do their businesses do? What do the neighbours think? What do your time your co-worker comes into work? That is all their business. That's nothing to do with you. You don't need to be involved in that. The business you need to be involved with is your business. What is going on with you right now? If you get irritated because your co-worker is late again and it impacts on the work that you need to do, then it may very well become your business. But until that happens, it's not. If you're worried about what your neighbour thinks of you, does it impact you? If it does, then it's your business. If it doesn't, let it go. These things that irritate you, that maybe aren't your business, but they are irritants, they get under your skin for a reason. And usually the reason they get under your skin is it sparks something that is in you that you're not 100% comfortable with. So if you like, the things that annoy you in other people annoy you because they are within you and you recognise them. So learn to know what your feelings are and that you have full ownership over those feelings. Once you do that, you can challenge it, you can question it, you can accept it, and your emotions will follow out of that. Remind yourself, especially now, that you know that you are doing your best. You do the best you can with the information you have at the time, or the resources you have, the materials you have. As long as you do your best every single time, you can feel comfortable and confident in the actions that you're taking. And whilst we're thinking about doing our best, please remember, everybody makes mistakes. We're all capable of making mistakes and learning from them, so you do not need to bully yourself into being better. Accept that there's been a mistake, take the lessons from it, and move forward from it. So what are you going to put onto your list for practicing and putting into use daily for the next week? Where could you just throw caution to the wind and trust yourself to know what's best for you? And when and where would it benefit you to focus on what you think rather than what someone else thinks? Have a think about it. As ever, if you have any comments, please do get in touch and let me know. In the meantime, I will let you crack on with your day. Take care of yourself, stay safe, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.